Good morning, everyone. Before I speak to you, I have my friend with me. His name is Everton Mlalas. And it will not take a lot of time, I'm just going to ask him to just come and give a special song. Is that okay? All right. Okay, this is...
Spirit, we need you and we need you now. sent his seed. Hallelujah.
Everton. Thank you. We are going to rise as we honor the word of the Lord. May we all rise as we honor the word of the Lord. It's okay. It's fine. We are reading Genesis chapter 12 and verse 4. So Abraham departed as the Lord had spoken unto him. So Abraham departed as the Lord had spoken unto him. Let us pray. Not I, but Christ, be honored, loved, exalted. Not I, but Christ, be seen, be known, be heard. Not I, but Christ. In every look and action. Not I, but Christ. In every thought and word. Let all the saints say amen. Please be seated. I think I have honored this hat. Allow me to take it off for a while. Is that okay? I was going to say something, but I'll just say to the member of the first family, Emerson Dambudzo, Mnangagwa, Mafid, the second, Deputy Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Tino Machakaire, to the Chancellor, Dr. Choga, to the Chairman of the University Council members, representatives from the Ministry of Higher Tertiary Education, Science, Technology Development, representatives from Zimche, sponsors of SOLUSI University 26th graduation, Vice Chancellor, to the SOLUSI University faculties, registrars, and all VIPs present, to all my friends, to all my relatives, welcome to the 26th graduation. As we celebrate these young men and women who are going out to war, and a seed has been planted in them that they can face the realities of this world. For those of us who were here yesterday, a charge was given to all of us that truly we are all fertile ground, and a seed has been planted in all of us. But God has come to us and said, leave the place where you are sitting and go to a land that I'm going to show you. Leave. Why is he saying leave this place? Because the seed has been planted for you, which is not for this place called Haran, but it's for Canaan, which is further up. So this is the charge that God has given us. This is the charge that God is giving us. I am a great great-grandchild of one Ndlovu who left somewhere around this place, moving with the missionaries, and went and settled in Lower Gwelo. And there they built the Lower Gwelo mission. I am a grandson of a pastor, Malaka Ndlovu, who was a pastor for most of his life and a headmaster. And he bore a daughter, her name is Melody. And she went to SOLUSI High School and learned Form 1 and 2, then went to Lower Gwelo and did her studies to become a teacher. So I am the seed of SOLUSI. So when I'm speaking to you, I am one of you. Where I make mistakes, please forgive me. Where I encourage you, may the name of the Lord be praised. The God of the Jew is also my God, is the subject that we are going to consider today. The God of the Jew is also my God. I'm going to tell you about a country that most of you probably know. That country is called Israel. Anyone who knows that country? That country is called what? Israel. Now, Israel has 9.8 million people. 9.8 million people. It is 20,700 square kilometers. Israel. 20,700 kilometers, square kilometers. That is the size of Israel. From that small country, to just give you context, Zimbabwe has a population of 15 million people. And the size of Zimbabwe is around 390,000 square kilometers. For those of you who do maths, Israel is about 1/15th of Zimbabwe. In Israel, for those who have been to Israel, there is a desert. It is rocky. There are mountains. There is nothing that should grow in Israel. But God says to Abraham, go to a land that I will show you. And that land, we call it milk and honey. But there is a desert. We should not be able to grow anything in Israel. Now, from that place which I am talking about, which is that small, do you want to know something? Class of 22? From that country, the GDP of Israel is $496 billion, making it the 25th biggest economy in the world. Per capita, it is $55,000, which is the 15th largest country per capita in the world. I'm talking about Israel. Israel's exports obey $142 billion, coming from a place that is 20,000 square kilometers. Do you want to know what they export, goods, that includes food and so forth, $69 billion, 2021. Do you want to know services? $74 billion last year. Do you want to know technology? $16 billion. The God of the Jew is also my God. But where did this start? It started in the book of Genesis, when God said, "Come away from this place. I am going to take you to a place which is going to be called your place, which is called Canaan." The book says, so Abraham departed. What did he have? He had the seeds that had been planted in him, so that wherever he went, he was going to be successful. Are you following? It is amazing that we now look up to Israel. I want to tell you something. For those who follow media, how Israel controls the world. There was a gentleman, it's unfortunate what he was going through. Some of you know him, he's a rapper. His name is Kanye West. There is a basketball player. Some of you know him, his name is K.R Ivan. They said something about a Jew. Now, I don't agree with what happened here, but I just want to show you the power of the Jew. In that, when they spoke, the whole world descended on Kanye and Kyrie, that their businesses crumbled from 6 billion to under 400 million by just messing with the name of the Jew. Are you listening to me? So, this is the God of the Jew. In that, when he spoke, he allowed Abraham to move and go to Canaan. When he got to Canaan, follow me closely, there was born a son by the name of Isaac, who carried on the dream. There was born a son by the name of Jacob, who carried on the dream. There was born a son called Joseph, carried on the dream. And now we see the establishment of Israel on the basis of one movement, to move from the place called Haran. And now we see the results. We celebrate the results, but not the movement. We never want to participate in the movement. To stand up and to walk, we don't celebrate that. We now talk it as history. But there was a man who actually moved, and now we celebrate the results. Are you following me? Saka kana takutaura. Please forgive me the Angolans. When we speak about the success. And all of us want to enjoy the success. But we are forgetting that there was a movement. Or that there was Israel, which went across the Red Sea. We do not want to talk about it. We talk about it as history. But we don't want to celebrate the movement. That there was hard work, that they were fed manna to go back to Israel. Are you following me? Hard work. I know. Maijika beans, nemuriwo, nesads. That's what you must eat. So that when you get into the place where you are going, you can then be able to grow these things, make them for yourself, and to celebrate the life where you are going. How can you have chicken and meat and celebrate the eating before the movement? You have to move in order to succeed, in order to eat, because where you are going to eat is where you are going to rest. How can you rest now when you have not arrived? So when you sleep on that bed, you must say, thank God for this bed, because I'm going to have a better bed where I'm going. When you go into this class, know that this place is not your home, but you have a home that is coming, that is better than this. It is in your mind where you build the home. So you begin to see it, you begin to touch it, you begin to sit on it, you begin to lie on it before you get there. So that when you get there, you can then say, surely God is, and He is a rewarder of those that believe in Him. Oh yes, class of 22, God is with you as He is planting that seed. Oh yeah. You know, allow me to go somewhere where you might not want me to go. In 1980, we celebrated independence. We got political freedom. When we got political freedom, we had nothing but freedom to vote whom we like. We had nothing. And the first thing that happened with the government of the day is that they then went and embarked on a place to educate us. I am talking about the God of the Jew. And when we were educated for 20 years, then they said, the land, we must give these people the economy because they are now educated. And then we were given the land. But alas, most of us, and even this pulpit, was used to denigrate what you are being given. And we were saying, and we were quoting from Micah, from everywhere else. I was sitting in the pew listening to this. When you were given the freedom and the economy. So while most of us were participating in the politics, others were going to take the land. 20 years on, what then happens? Everything is now moving all right, and everyone is running for this land. And there is no more land to give. The Adventist was on the pulpit, and others were getting the heritage that they were looking for. Now, listen to me, class of 22. Zimbabwe is 390,000 square kilometers. Unlike Israel, we are producing 500,000 carats a month. Are you following? We are, yes, lithium. This is beautiful. When all of us were crying for oil, we need oil, we need oil, we need oil. God was preparing a place for Zimbabwe. When we are going to need cars that are made of batteries, yes, lithium iri kutushuka from all over the place. And this is what? Zimbabwe. Do you know the land reform program was 10 million hectares, which was redistributed? 10 million hectares. And now we went and saw the opportunity and started introducing command agriculture so that we can give access for inputs. While the Adventist is on the pulpit, doing what? Politics about the land that they've been given. Are you following? While we are struggling with the politics, the land is being developed. The land, things are moving while we're in politics. And we're in discussions. And we are Pharisees, knowing truth from error. Land, the God of the Jew. While the land is being built, we are busy fighting amongst each other. Saying this one, that one, this one. Fighting amongst each other. Let me tell you about a Jew. A Jew, whether they are in Russia, they are in America, they are in Germany, they are in Africa. When you touch a Jew, you have touched their blood. And they are that coordinated that they move together. And the movement bases their brotherness. They are together. Allow me to tell you, class of 22, that we are not graduated to become independent, but we are graduated to work together. To see your brother's pain, to be able to bring him up so that he can be where you are. If you believe that where you are is safe, why don't you want somebody else? So now in Zimbabwe, we are building a culture that says me and me alone. And then when you look at others, you then begin to reflect yourself on the basis what you see. I don't know if you get me. So unofunga zvakaora, unobva wafunga kuti Mwari kuzviitawo. Nokuti iwewe pfungwa dzako dzakaora. And this mentality is amongst all of us here. You know, I want to tell you something for nothing. We came up with a hospital called Arundel. You know Arundel Hospital? You go there for free. You are being treated for free. You didn't need anyone to call anyone to go and be treated. There was an article by an Adventist movement which suggested that I was doing it for the elite. And yet it was being done for anybody who wanted to go into the hospital. And my name was attacked by my very own. I shouldn't say this, man. Let's talk about something good about the class of 22. We have the seed in us. You can be able to succeed. Most of you do not know. You think that Sakunda started 3 months ago or 2 years ago when President Mnangagwa became president. In 2003, that's when we started Sakunda. 2001, actually. That's when we started Sakunda. Now 21 years old. Do you know, we started with a seed of 7,500. 7,500. Within the third month, I'm talking about a seed obey. Third month, we chose to sell our house so that we can build our business. And within the first year, we were selling 500,000 liters a month. While others were buying houses and cars, we were building our business. 10 years on, we were the largest company in Zimbabwe. And when we became the largest company in Zimbabwe, selling fuel, about 70% of the market, that's when everyone started to see. And when the Adventists saw Sakunda, they said, which politician is in this? Because you look at the results, not the journey. That's what you look at. That's what you look at. You don't see my 10 years that I actually sold my house in Westgate, 142 Wattle Road, that I built from 98. Took me 2 years. I sold it for 21,000 pounds. 21,000, which was enough to do 2 tankers of fuel. That is where my dream started. Are you following? That was the seed that was placed in me. And I built it to the company. I never bought a house for myself until 2010 because I was building the business. Because an asset must produce some value. Are you following? A house takes away from you. Because when you have a house, you are not going to get income from the house. If you are working, like some of us are going to want to, a house is an asset. But for us who are in business, it is not, because it is taking value from you. And I know that most of us, like my deputy minister, what's a nice house? You must remember that he's a civil servant. So, so he's on a salary, so he needs a house as an asset. But for some of us, we don't view it as an asset. And this is what I did as I was walking my journey. In 2012, as the hurdles were coming before me, I then built a country to support this country. And when I built it, the purpose was to make sure that the fuel was available close to us. And when I was doing that, Pastor, you were talking about it. God opened another avenue. I actually donated it for $12 million. When I did that, I got to do more fuel by just doing that work. And when I did that, I got to 75%. I remember my COO is here. He went and he caused us problems because he was now talking. We did this month, we did 87% of the market. And everyone was worried, who is K.R Tagwirei? Who's doing 87% of the market? And the security people came to my office. Who are you? And I said, okay, my name is K.R Tagwirei, okay. And who is your partners? Oh, my wife and myself. Sandra, Sakunda, Sandra, and Kuda. No. Who is behind you? It was only Kuda and Sandra. I am telling you, the mind that you have right now, as class of 22, you can do many things and be able to succeed. If you just put your mind to it. Now, I was telling you, right now, most of us do not know this. The government of the day has decided that they are going to have a rural development program 8.0. Anyone heard of it? Anyone heard of it? Now. Class of 22. Who has a rural home? Anyone? Yeah, very good. All of us have a rural home. In those rural homes, the government is coming to put a what? A borehole. In that rural home, they are going to put an irrigation of 1 acre. In that home, they are doing a program called Kububuza. They are doing God production for you. Now, let me just give you some numbers. Class of 22. Do you know that to succeed, you do not want to have this big vision? You start small. There was only Abraham. Then there was Isaac. Then there was Jacob, and there were 12. Are you following? We tend to want to have this big thing. Look at me, 7,500. The biggest oil company in 10 years. And do you know something? If you decide, for those who are doing agribusiness, okay, seed, obey. If you decide that you want to become an entrepreneur, go to your rural home. The government has got a program for you. Do not think politics. Think your rural home. I'm not telling you who to vote for. Remember this. I am telling you, think what? Your rural home. In your rural home, you have 1 hectare. I give you 1 hectare. Okay? 1 hectare. You put a bit of, you sell that car, because everyone thinks that a car is an asset. You sell that car for $7,000. You put a borehole there on 1 hectare. Or you even do, you don't see, kunokupa mvura, muchidiridza. On that 1 hectare, you should be able to do 200, because you are educated. Did you educate them? Did you educate them? Yes. Are they educated? Did you teach them agriculture? Yes. You did. So you know how to put fertilizer in the ground. You have been taught. You know how to put seed into the ground. You have been taught. You know how much water is required. You have been taught. So you begin to practice it in your rural home. You do not have a rental. The costs are minimal. Are you following? When you do this, you will get 200 tons a year. Are you following? 200. That's 200,000 kgs a year. Now, 200,000. How much is 200,000 kgs? 200,000 kgs at 50 cents a kg. It's 100,000. Your cost, because you don't have labor and anything else, it's most probably about $30,000. Now, if you tell me a job that is going to pay you 70,000 a year in Zimbabwe, show me that job. But there is a hectare kumusha, where you can go and begin to become an entrepreneur. After you have done 1 year of 1 hectare, you go to 2 years, 2 hectares, you become 3 hectares. Now you become a serious commercial farmer. Now, I was telling you about coming together. You must also encourage the people that are in the rural home to all congregate and work together and have tomato plantations of class of 22. You are 500 of you. Imagine if you become a community, 500 of 1 hectare. That's 500 hectares of tomatoes. Where you are making 100,000, you are now making 100,000 times 500. That's how you work together. Now, you think that what I'm talking about does not make sense. I have a friend, he is working with the university right now. He comes from Israel. The biggest, if you are said to be a big farmer, what is the size of the land that you must own? In Zimbabwe, you want 100 hectares. In Israel, it's 6 hectares. You are called wealthy when you have 6 hectares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In Zimbabwe, we want 100. I need 100. I need 200. For it to work, I need 300. In Israel, it's 6 hectares. But what they do, class of 22, is that they come together as a community so that 6 hectares times 500 becomes what? 1,500. No, 3,000. 3,000 hectares. And they look for a market for 3,000 hectares. Manje ku Zimbabwe, do you know what we do? I want to do it by myself, and I want to show the other one and hide away from him so that we become successful. I want to tell you something. Today I'm too excited. Please forgive me, my friends. 2015, I wanted to leave the country. I was doing well in the international markets. Those of you who know. I was doing very well. And I was looking at the troubles that Zimbabwe was going through. Dr. Choga actually came and saw me and prayed for me. One of the few pastors who came and prayed with me. And he showed me my place. And while I was teetering, I was banking in the biggest banks in the world. I had everything that I wanted, 2014, somewhere there. And I got on a plane. When I got onto that plane, my mind made up. I was sent on a government assignment to go to Equatorial Guinea. And as I was going to Equatorial Guinea, the men that I was with began to tell me about the economy, about the drought that was coming. And as I was going there, he began to talk to me. Which was the El Nino. When I got there, I started thinking about it and planning for it. In a week, I came back. And when I came back, I started sitting down and planning this strategy. I called my friends, and we sat up to 4 a.m. Guys, there is a drought that is coming. And I did a project proposal for contract farming, which you now call command agriculture. And I had a problem because there was what was called the RTGS at that time. And there was no money which was moving out of the country. So I had this problem. But at the same time, there was a bigger problem for the country. I gave them in 2015. The government took 1 year thinking about it. And when they were thinking about it, they got offers from other people to do the same program. My interest rate was the lowest. It was 4%. When we started the program, no one thought that it was going to succeed, and no one talked about it. When it was successful in 2017, going to 17, the U.S. Agricultural Department wrote that Zimbabwe is doing one of the best things in command agriculture. U.S. government. When they then began to think who I was supporting, that I was supporting the government of the day, they then said, you stole $3 billion. And I was placed on sanctions. Are you following? So, this is what we're trying to do, to try and make the land become successful. Now, class of 22, you are going to meet challenges along the way. You are going to meet them. When you have a vision, do not stop. Work and look for it. And there is going to be an American government kind of situation which is going to come to you and say you can't succeed. And when they see you succeeding, they are going to put sanctions on your life. Because we always have sanctions that come around us in one way or the other. Sometimes it's our families. Sometimes it's our friends that tell us that we can't make it. And then they put spanners in the works. They are putting sanctions on you too. But class of 22, the God of the Jew is also the God that you worship. Now, finally, I want to say to you, my brothers and sisters, we as Adventists, we believe in the God of the Jew. The reason why we are at this institution is that we believe in the God of the Jew. We believe in him. But we do not want to experience him. Those who are listening to my voice do not want his experience. They just want to believe him. Even the devil believes that there is a God. I am challenging you, class of 22. Believe in God, but experience him. get away from the land that you are sitting on. He has given you a place to go. May God bless you. May He move with you. May He walk with you. Whatever you want, you touch, may you be able to experience it. May you see Him in your life. I want to challenge you, class of 22. Do not be like all of us. Be like Peter. That when he walked, when he gave Jesus his boat, and he went a little further, and he did not catch any fish. And then he gave him his boat. And when after God had finished using his boat, he said, "Chibot, try up." When he tried it, he caught fish that he had never caught before. But what he did after that is most important. Instead of going away, thinking that and puffed up and saying, "Look at it, I have succeeded," he rushed to the Lord and worshiped Him. The things that you are going to do to succeed, when you succeed, do not be puffed up. Remember, it is God who has placed you there. Go and worship Him. Is that all right? Go and worship Him. The things, Dr. Choga, that He gives us, things that He gives us are to worship Him, not to be puffed up. You cannot do anything without God. And everything that you do must be for God. 12 verse 1 of Romans. Present your bodies holy as a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Lord. Are you following? Not part, but your whole. Give to the Lord. Is that okay? I hope that God is going to bless us. Now, tapedza neclass yenyu.